Hello, this is Brad. Looks like I had a missed call. Is this Louis?
Yeah.
Hey, Louis, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just about to listen to your voicemail. I had not heard it yet. What were you saying, man?
Oh, okay. So first of all, what is the amp is blowing fuses, right?
Yes.
Is that what I read?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. Second thing is, if you want to follow it, just follow a basement or a tweet twin circuit. The values are very close to the same. As far as drifting resistors, there's very good metal films in there. They're not going to drift. If it's the one, and that's an old amp now. I don't know what's in that amp. I mean, what is it, 2003 or something?
It looks like the last tube change happened in 2003.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, the tubes tested good on my tester, but my tester is admittedly a bit old, and it doesn't always catch all problems. But I've actually changed the fuse now.
Yeah.
It looks like they had put, and the reason for the fuse blow, I figured out since messaging you, is I think the fuse that blew formerly was a 2 amp fuse instead of a 3. You have listed on here a 3. I'm not sure why it would draw 3 amps. It shouldn't draw anywhere near 3 amps, but
anywhere near that.
Right.
So when you pull all the tubes out, and you turn the amp on, it still blows fuses.
I have not even dialed it up all the way yet. I wanted to wait for you to get back with me because I wasn't sure what was in here. I've compared it to a basement schematic so far. I've actually started out drawing out the schematic already.
Yeah, I don't have schematics in wiring. I should, but I don't. And I'm not hiding from nobody. It's just basic shit. It's not like I'm trying to hide stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
yeah,
I painted stuff years ago because, well, see, now if those are carbon comps, I don't know. See, it's such an old amp. There was a reason why I painted them, to keep moisture away from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it looks like that's probably what you got in here on the plates and in the power section. You've got metal. It looks like you got metal in the power section and on the plates. From what I can see.
Real quick before I forget.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess whip all the tubes out and put the thing on. If it blows fuses, then go right for the power transformer. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can do the basic troubleshooting, but the thing was, I was just, wanting to figure out why the paint, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, the paint is because, like I just said, I don't, I paint them because it was resistors I would use years ago, like different ones, and I said, this looks like something that was thrown together that fucking, you know what I'm saying? If you use different resistors in areas and it looks like you just had shit laying around that you put together, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So I painted everything to keep it even, not to hide anything. I don't have to hide anything.
I got you.
All the magic starts in the transformers anyway. It's
Yeah, I mean,
everybody thinks they could just build amps and put any transformer on and sound great because they're using carbon copies. The whole deal.
Right. Well, from what I read and kind of what I surmised, I mean, I can't say I fully blame you because it looks like at the time that you you designed this thing, you were maybe working with were you working with Keith Richards some, like on feedback for the what was going on, like?
Yeah, that was an early amp. What'd you say, 2003 or something?
This is, yeah, I think this is probably the last time these tubes were changed. It was in like maybe 03.
What color is the amp? Like, what's the box?
It's black.
You know what? If you get a chance, I mean, it doesn't have to be right now, but just take a picture of the circuit, send it on. This is my cell if you want to send it. I just want to see what you're looking at.
Okay. I mean, is this, let me ask you this though, man. Is this the paint thing? Is this something you still do with these?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I kind of figured. I figured maybe this was an early thing. Like, what my thoughts was maybe this was an earlier one, and this was at a time when, you didn't necessarily want this to get around, like a couple of tweaks,
as a builder. I don't know. Do you build it all or no?
Yes. Yeah, I build and mod stuff.
So then you know what I'm talking about. Like sometimes. If you pull something off, you don't really just want to give it away right away either. You know what I mean?
I get you. I get you on that one because and especially at this time, I think this was kind of the boutique boom, more or less. Like early 2000s. That
was like later in my career. I was building like in like 92. Where were you, in Texas?
No, I'm in Kentucky.
Oh, you're in Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm in Louisville.
You by the Derby at all?
I've never been to the Derby, man. If you try to even go anywhere near the Derby at Derby time, it's like a nightmare. It's the locals stay away from it.
I want to go to Kentucky really bad. I can't see that. You know, I like horse racing.
Oh man, I tell you, it explodes, man. The population around here during that time.
What's the deal with the fucking COVID and all of that crap?
Well, I'm done with all that, man. I'm so sick of that. To tell you what, biggest farce in human history, as far as I'm concerned. Like literally.
I can go along with you on that one.
Man, I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt on this, Louis, because I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I first opened it up, I was like, "What the fuck is?" I was like, "What the?" I was pissed, dude. I was like, "What the fucking hell?" I was like cussing at the walls and shit because I was like, "Man, this is like gooped. I mean, like pedal gooping and shit.
It's fucking funny.
But at the time,
that's why I called you, because I said, this texting thing. When you text, I've noticed something about emails and texting. It's sometimes you can read it wrong, and it just, I'd rather talk to people.
I'm the same way, and I try to give people the benefit of the doubt too, because as I called you and I emailed you
in the email, and I said, let me just call this fucking guy up,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to text him. This is all bullshit,
Well, here's my thing, and I'll let you know. Full disclosure, I don't know if you looked me up or what, but I
have no idea.
Okay, well, I run a YouTube channel. It's called The Guitarologist, and I've got like 123,000 subscribers. So I show all of my stuff when I fix something. So, I mean, that's what I meant by I didn't want to slander you or like make you look bad or any of that shit, because if this is an early one and it's something that maybe was getting passed around among celebrities and techs, like at a time when you were afraid it might get stolen or something, that might be a different story than if this was like a current production thing that you were slathering these so it was harder to fix. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't do that to stuff. I don't like any.
Because, man, there's been some weird I'll tell you what, for instance, Mesa puts out good schematics, and they're really Johnny on the spot with how they, their service. They'll follow up on stuff. But the problem with them is they'll intentionally falsify schematics and throw you off. Like, trying to throw off, like, I guess they're so paranoid about Chinese fakers, that they will send out schematics that are wrong. And it's like, this is not even what's in this amp. You know what I mean? So
it's kind of smart.
Well, yeah, real.
Want to avoid the Chinese.
Well, real fucking smart. Well, at this point, I mean, we've got more to fear from the Chinese than just amps, I think.
I'm with you on that one.
I'll tell you what, man. I like you, Louis. I knew I'd like you, man. That's I didn't.
I called. I said, this guy's gonna. This got to stop the. I was gonna email you. I said, fuck email. I'm not into this shit. I just talked to the guy.
Yeah.
If there's any way I can help you fix it, but I'm there for you.
Well, I appreciate that, and that makes a lot more sense than, and kind of that's what I had figured. Was the case. It was like maybe. Maybe this thing was, and I hadn't even thought about it from the angle of maybe use some different stuff and you want it to be more.
Important question. What's the stack on what's the lamination and the stack on the transformer? Do you know offhand?
I haven't even got the amp out of the cabinet yet. So.
All right. That'll tell me a lot too if you can tell me that, because then I know. I've used. If it's a Ubit someone model, that was the story with Keith and Ubit. We were doing a thing, and I used a different transformer in the Ubit one.
Gotcha.
But it was all kind of like the same kind of amp. It was based off that Tweed Twin thing. But then I changed things. But if you could tell me that later, you don't have to tell me right away. But when you get it, just let me know what the lamination and the stack is, and then I'll have a really good idea about it.
You're wanting to know how many laminations are on the power transformer?
No, the lamination. Is it a 125? Is it 150 lamination and the stack?
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't even pulled it from the cabinet yet, so.
All right.
But
I'm here, though. If you want to call me, I got to jump real quick right now. I got so much fucking shit I'm doing. But, and it was good talking to you. I'm glad I called you. Just as you go along, if you have to give me a call or something, or shoot me a text, this is the cell. Just shoot me something.
Okay. Yeah, I think I could. I mean, this is going to be pretty standard as far as troubleshooting. But I mean, my thing was if you had something laying around that was documenting, any mods that had been done. Like usually, I'll scratch on you know, if I'm doing mods on an amp, I'll take a original schematic or something and scratch the values out and like even write the new value. Yeah, exactly. Or just make notes like the tone stack is different here or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's what all I really wanted, because I wanted to just make sure that, because usually, you know, I mean, what you do on a service, you want to go through and see, is this resistor drifted 20%? Is this one, you know what I mean? So.
If it's the Dales that I've used, the other resistors, well, that's early though. So like I said, I don't know. I don't remember. That's a while. That's 2003. That's a pretty long time ago, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, man. As long as it's almost like, and when I show something on my channel, I feel an obligation, like, to the audience too. It's like to tell them what's up. Like, okay, is this something that's still in production? Is he still doing this? Because if you buy one, it's almost like buyer beware, because, you know, you feel me? Because you can't just take it to any tech and quickly figure out what's wrong with it. You would have to take it to you or send it, you know what I mean? So that kind of hampers your ability on, if you're on the road or something, it's a little bit different than, you know, quickly. On the road now. What's that? Oh, yeah, well, hell, I know. Tell me about it, dude. I saw ELO was coming, I think this year to my town, man. I might go see them, but I haven't. Oh, really? Yeah, but I don't, or no, they're not. No, we're going to Nashville. But
is Mule coming down there?
What's that?
Government Mule. Are they going to be down there? I got to talk to him.
You know, I don't know. He might be. They might be. You talking about Warren Haynes? Yeah. I saw you have you've had a relationship with him in the past. That's cool.
He was one of the early guys. That guy. What happened was when Danny Gatton. I was with Danny many years ago, and when Danny died, they had a big benefit for him at Tramps, this club in New York.
Yeah.
And I met so many fucking people at that benefit, man. It was crazy.
I bet.
He was one of them. Yeah.
He was a player's player, man. That dude, he wasn't widely known, but the people who knew him knew what he was.
Anything like that in my life.
He was probably. You know, I've sat in front of Johnny Highland, like in the same room.
Oh, he's a good player.
And
too.
Dude, and you know, met him several times, and
he's a big Danny fan.
He's up there too. But Danny, I tell you what, man, he's probably the greatest player of my lifetime.
Yeah, maybe, because he had a lot of different styles down. You know, I had a friendly argument with my friend, and I think the world of George Benson. I think George Benson's a fucking monster.
George Benson's up there too. And Joe Pass was. I mean,
and Joe Pass, right? So, but I said to him, and maybe I should ask you this question, because maybe I'll get an answer out of you too. I say that Danny was a better all around player than George Benson.
I think Danny could do everything George Benson did, and then some. Would probably.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he's not a better jazz player than Danny. You know,
right?
Danny could play jazz though.
Yeah.
Really well.
Oh, I know. You would see him take off on certain passages. Right. It's like, wow, now he's a jazz player.
Yeah, so I just think he's as a better all-around player, because he has more styles. Like if it started going to rockabilly or country, Danny's going to wipe him out.
Oh, no doubt.
He's going to kill him. You know.
I had a chance one time. A friend of mine, because I used to buy and sell a lot more than I do now, and I would buy and sell amps and fix them up or whatever, and flip them and stuff like that. And a friend of mine had gotten hold of one of Danny Gatton's amps, one of his old Fenders that had belonged to him, and I was going to buy it from him, but he wanted too much for it, which I mean I understand, but as it was Danny Gatton's amp, but apparently it had not been touched since he had owned it, and he had some mods done to it or something. That would have been a really cool one.
Jay probably worked on it. Jay knows that amp.
Yeah, I'm not sure who he had working on stuff. I don't know, but I did not study it. But yeah, it's like that would have been cool. But yeah, man, I'll let you go, Louis. But man, listen, I appreciate your call, dude. I really do. Like I said, I wanted to. I'm really mindful of, like, when I go on a video, not wanting to slander somebody or unduly make somebody look bad or some shit, you know what I mean, without them having a say, you feel me?
Yeah.
So
I hear you.
So I definitely appreciate you calling me back, man. That means a lot, and it really does.
Check out that channel when I get a minute.
Yeah, it's called The Guitologist.
I see your email has that name on there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my second channel. But if you just type in The Guitologist, it'll go to it.
Yeah, let's just check that out. Yeah.
But I'll probably have a video up here soon. I'm gonna try to find what the problem is. I might change the output tubes and stuff like that. Change the put a 3-amp fuse in it like it has listed on the face, but it shouldn't draw anything near 3 amps. But I'll probably change the power caps as a matter of course, and just shit like that. So
yeah, just make sure nothing's. I don't have to tell you.
Yeah, of course, and I'll just rebias and cross my fingers, hope nothing smokes. You feel me? Dialed up slow and just get the ass pucker. Yeah. Try to keep the smoke in, man.
I got a Marantz 8B in here that I'm doing a full inductance curve on the transform, but the guy, I usually don't take repairs, but I did it for this guy. He sounded like a really nice guy and everything. And I said, well, what happened? He goes, I was playing and I saw smoke.
Hey, those, at least those usually self-diagnose. That's the good thing about the smoke ones.
Yeah. Smoke's not always bad anyway. As a tech, is that if a shorter tube goes, the fuse, the screen resistor goes out, and it's just a screen resistor.
And then it's just something that was meant to go anyway. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's it looks like something really bad, but it really isn't. But if a customer doesn't know anything about electronics and nothing, if I didn't know and I saw that, I would never plug the fucking thing in again.
Exactly. You think your house is going to burn down?
All right, it's Brad, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, Brad, I got to jump real quick. But listen, like I said, if you want to text me or whatever, I'm here. Thank
you, Louis. Hey, man, it's great making your acquaintance. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, same here, man. All right?
All right, we'll see you, brother.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, later.
Bye-bye.
All right, well, that didn't go anything like I had thought it might, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I think Louis made a good showing of himself there. Yeah, man. And he claims, and I've seen, actually, that was why I was confused too, and I wanted to really give the guy a chance to defend himself here, because, I had seen some other gut shots, a couple of others that I saw online of other Louis Electric amps that were not gooped like this. They weren't, they had not been painted. So apparently not all of them that he makes or has made are painted. And he assures me that any that he makes now, of course, are not going to be like this. So